voxday.blogspot.com. I'm Voxday, and I am with Infogalactic News, news.infogalactic.com. How y'all doing? A little bit late here, but we've been busy working. Hey, this is a super secret Darkstream tonight, and so I've got once we get to 100 people, I will go ahead and let you know what I'm talking about tonight. But actually, the cool thing, well, thanks for joining the Burn Unit. We're hoping that lots more people are going to join soon. We're pretty stoked too. So, okay, we're at 88, getting there. I am up late tonight, and you'll understand why in a minute. We've been extremely busy this weekend, working hard, because that's what we do. One advantage we have at Infogalactic and Castelia is that we pretty much work 7 days a week. Never stop. That's one of the things that gives us an advantage. It's not enough to be smarter, but you also got to work harder. So, what are the books on the fourth shelf down behind my right shoulder? Let's see, my one's on the left. This side, or my right shoulder is this one. Blue. Oh, up there. Those are the that's the Encyclopedia of War. So, anyhow, now that we're at 100, I'll go ahead and let you know. If you want to check out Infogalactic News and get a preview of where we are right now, go to news.infogalactic.com. If you're on your computers, I'll give you a second. Go check it out and tell us what you think. We are going to be announcing it tomorrow morning. It's kind of funny. A number of people just dropped off. Okay. Anyhow, we're announcing it tomorrow morning, but we've already got it up and live. We've still got a lot of changes to make to it. Obviously, this is basically the bare bones version, but it's already good to go. You can see the basic structure. We don't have the auto archiving going yet, but we will have it going very soon. By very soon, I mean probably tomorrow. Yeah, it's legit. Go ahead and click on the stuff. You can see everything's live, everything's going. No authentication required. It's very Drudge Report influence. It's an aggregator. We're not pretending to be inventing any wheels here. No, for the second time, it doesn't need any password. Just news.infogalactic.com. So what we've got is 36 core links. So it's kind of your one-stop shop if you are center right or alt right. We've got everything from Fred Reed, and everyone else is getting in fine and they don't have passwords, so I can't help you there. But so we've got everything from Breitbart, the Drudge Report. We've got Return of Kings. We've got The Spectator. We've got Talkie Mag. For the columnists, we've got everyone from me and Cernovich to the Saker, and Jerry Pornell. Just stop, okay? I don't want to. We're not having one-on-one conversations here, okay? What we're looking at doing is twice a day. The headlines are going to change, and so as events dictate. And so we'll have the 3 main stories that are in that middle column, and then we'll have 8 more stories, 4 on each side. All of them are going to be moving to archive links, and so. And then what we're planning to do is we will be adding on more sites and columnists as they are willing to advertise to be on there. Basically, we're looking at it as an opportunity. Are we archiving conservative news? Not necessarily. We'll have to look at that. No, it's not. It's not something that you can personalize. That would sort of be contrary to the purposes. We might come up with a way to do that down the road, but not initially. The design. The design is meant to be as simple as possible. We wanted something that will work for everybody, is easy to navigate. I like the older Drudge better than the newer one, so we're going to keep keep it very simple, and we'll check that Gavin McGinnis link out. It's entirely possible that some of those we didn't check. Like I said, this is a preview. We haven't gone and checked all of them. In fact, the Box Day link was definitely broken. The font size does vary. So you'll see the middle font in the main story is the big font in the middle, and then you see they get slightly smaller on the second, third, and then the side ones are all the same. And so we've got a team of 14 editors who will be taking turns. They'll each have one shift a week, making sure that the stories are always updated. The idea is to have a one-stop shop. So if you want to find out where the news is going to, what's happening that day, you can hit it right away. We're not trying to do. We do have, just so you know, we do have the ability to do pictures and all that sort of thing. But we don't want to muddy things up. We don't want to delay the traffic. If it's necessary, if pictures are relevant, we can put them on there. It's my intention that we'll kind of keep that to a minimum. This is not a glitzy sort of thing. The URL is news.infogalactic.com, and we're also going to be adding some stuff on the sidebar. So it'll have, we've already got it, so that it'll have the Dow Jones. We're going to add the Kitco charts for the Euro-US dollar exchange rate and the price of gold. And then obviously the headlines are there. We're not going to have a ton of stories. We're going to keep, it was my intention to keep it to 11. I don't think that there's, if you follow the Drudge Report, you notice that the same stories are often there for like 3 days. Well, what's the point? If you want to go, and find out all the news that's happening, then it makes more sense to just go to a newspaper site and read the whole newspaper. Our whole goal is just to basically focus on hitting the primary stories. Now the other thing, and we're also not going to do the whole tabloid man bites dog thing. That's fine. If that's what interests people, it already exists. We don't need to give that. What we wanted to give is we wanted to provide something that gives you the news from a center-right perspective. It's almost all news. We also wanted to make sure that it denied traffic to the mainstream media, and we wanted to tie it to Infogalactic. So one thing that you don't see yet, but we do have the ability to do, and we will be adding, is that we'll be putting on, underneath each story, we have the ability to add a Infogalactic link, so that, for example, like there's that story saying in Islamic State using PR, media for PR, we can have an Infogalactic link to Islamic State in case there's people who want to go more in depth. So, anyhow, I hope you enjoy it. We're going to be. I hope you find it worthy of bookmarking. With the term anti-pope in several contexts, yes, you can see the Cambridge Medieval History series right there. So yes, I know what an anti-pope is. What time does it refresh the stories every day? Well, they'll basically be refreshed as needed by the editor who is on call at that time. So, we're not necessarily going to flush all 11 stories and replace them with 11 new ones, just because sometimes, that story one of the stories might still be relevant. We still have to add a lot of things on the editor side. Like right now, we don't have the habits so you can just easily slide them up and down. But we will have that soon. So keep in mind, this is just the bare bones beginning. Just the same way that you've seen Infogalactic itself changing and improving over time. And by the way, we're about to add a super fast caching ability to the main Infogalactic site. And so, we're just going to keep improving this. And also we want to hear your ideas too. This is one of the reasons why we just went ahead and launched it very quickly, is because we didn't have any reason that we had to, but I realized that my vision for this is pretty limited, and so other people are going to have good ideas and and have ideas that we should consider implementing. And we're very open to that. I'm not a design diva. I don't think that this is absolutely perfect. And there are going to be people who don't like it. Like there's the one guy who mentioned he didn't like the design, while other people thought it was great. It's fine. There's plenty of people that don't like the Drudge Report design, but they get 2.7 billion page views a month. Now we'd certainly like to get some sizable fraction of that, but. And other people are going to be, as the traffic grows, there's going to be other people that are going to want their sites to be on that. We're going to, I believe initially, we're going to charge $100 a month if they want a listing on there. If they want to be on, then, they know where to find us. And so it's, we're not interested in the. We don't want right alignment on all text because of the way that the layout is. It works better to have right on the one side, left on the other. Piero San Giorgio is actually a excellent writer. He's a Swiss Italian, and so. He's somebody that is a friend of mine, and he's got some really good books out. He's quite big in Europe, and so in fact I think he's one of the best-selling authors in France, if I recall correctly. And so there's a number of folks that we want to there's a number of folks that we want to give some attention to. Obviously you can see that. Yep. That's Piero's book. You can see obviously we led with me, with Mike, with Milo, that sort of thing. And one of the things that I wanted to do with this is I didn't want to have the sites that are linked on Drudge. Now some of those sites might come to us and want to be on here, and we'll work something out, I'm sure. But for the most part, these are sites and these are columnists that are not there. I would have liked to have had my column listed on Drudge, back when I was at WorldNet Daily and that sort of thing. But it just wasn't one of the columns he picked. That's fine. So and this is supposed to be an alternative. It's not. There's plenty of reason to. Like I said, if Free Republic wants to be on there, if they think it's worthwhile, they'll get in touch with us. It's not a site that I read myself, so it's not really a site that I'm terribly concerned about, personally. Everybody's got to start somewhere. And everybody has their own reading habits. So anyhow, I'm wearing the Burn Unit shirt. So if you, first of all, thanks to you guys who are already in the Burn Unit. We really appreciate your making this stuff possible. And if you haven't joined the Burn Unit yet and you want to help us keep doing this kind of stuff, there's a link to the Burn Unit on the left sidebar. And one thing I'd encourage you to do is, I mean, it's great that people are enthusiastic, but I've noticed that the only cancellations that we've had are the people that have kind of come in and maybe gotten a little too over enthusiastic. So, you know, it's great. We love it when people, sign up to, sign up for $100 a month or $50 a month subscriptions. That's fantastic. But there's not much point if you suddenly realize, oh, wait a minute, that's too much, and then you cancel, a month or two later. It'd be more useful it'd probably be better for everybody, if you just signed up for like $10 a month or something from the beginning and stayed involved. Because, we want people to be involved. I don't know if people have noticed that yet, but, when we first started this, like the guy who's the OG, the original Galaxian, can testify, we specifically said nobody can chip in more than $100, even though there were people who were willing to, fund the entire thing, but themselves. And we just said no, because we want this to be a community effort. We want to build a community around this. We want it to grow. We don't want it to be something that is dependent upon one or two sugar daddies. And so, this way, everybody's involved, everybody feels involved, and yeah, it is a movement of sorts. I mean, that's the whole alt tech thing. The community at Gab is great, and we're going to build a community at Infogalactic as well once we add the Reddit-like functionality of rehash. And that's the other thing too, is that all of these stories will have the ability to have a direct rehash link to it too. We're still trying to figure out what the hell we're doing with that, because we're not really big Redditors, so there's a pretty big learning curve ahead of us. But we'll stumble through it. As you can tell, we're pretty competent technically, so this stuff is not artificial intelligence or non-Euclidean 3D engine, so I'm pretty sure we can work it out. But yeah, so bookmark it. Support with the Burn Unit if you get a chance. Somebody who asked about the T-shirt, we've sent out instructions. If you're a new member, then you'll be getting instructions on how you can get them. And you're saying include Bitcoin, Bitcoin what, like Bitcoin US dollar exchange rates or something? That's a good idea. I don't see any reason why we can't do that. So, yeah. So anyhow, I'm glad that we can do that. We'll put that on the list. And so, so check it out. Bang on it a bit. Go ahead and email with various thoughts and ideas that you might have, things that you might like to see. And like I said, we'll be making where it is now. We'll be making the formal announcement tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, spread the word. Thanks very much. Appreciate all the enthusiasm, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good evening.